You're listening to SaskScapes, a podcast featuring the stories of arts, culture, and heritage in Saskatchewan. It's only fattening if you swallow. That's a quote from one of my guests on this episode of SaskScapes. Swallow what, you ask? Well, that would be a table as long as the eye can see, full, and I mean full, of the most delicious, calorie-laden, but who cares anyway desserts. I'm Kevin Power, and welcome to the town of Preeceville, Saskatchewan, and a Culture Days weekend celebration featuring an ethnic dessert night. What an original idea to bring the town folks all together. Hosted by the Preeceville Heritage Museum Committee, dozens of folks pitched in and made desserts reflective of their cultural heritage. It was a United Nations of desserts on display. And to add to the fun, most of the crowd were in costume, and most importantly, wearing hats. Join me and one of my first guests, Lorne, a local resident, history buff, and a long-time Preeceville teacher, now retired. Lorne and I talk about the history of the area, including the Doukhobour influence. And as for the food, well, dear listeners, be envious, because it was all as good as it sounds. Thanks to Andrea, the town's recreation director, and Elaine, the community development officer, for inviting me to their town. It was a huge turnout and an honor to meet you all. So, here I am in Preeceville, which is your home.
Welcome.
And thank you. And you are?
Lorne Plaxton.
Lorne, now you are the head, are you the head of the Historical Society?
I was.
You were, okay.
I was the head of the Preeceville and District Heritage Museum.
Okay.
At its inception in 2005. Okay. We are celebrating our 10th anniversary today, in fact.
Wow.
This is it.
We should all be singing happy anniversary to each other.
Well, that would be a darn good idea.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, are you originally from the area?
I'm from Buchanan, which is about 20 miles south.
So you stayed close to home.
Oh, definitely.
And how long have you lived in Preeceville proper?
Since 1961.
Okay.
1962.
Do you know when the town of Preeceville was established?
Definitely. 1912.
1912. And there probably was a railway that came through here at one point?
The railway came through the grade was in 1911, and the rail came in 12.
Right. When did the rail
go? Likewise, we have a historical hotel that was built in 1912.
Oh, and it still functions as a
hotel?
There.
It is still there.
Wow.
The bar is still there.
Wow. But not the hotel?
The hotel is still there.
Is it really?
The whole thing, right.
Is it haunted by any chance?
It's which?
Is it haunted? The reason why I ask is I've been to a couple of original hotels that are haunted. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I'm always intrigued by
this one is, it's only 103 years old, so it's not haunted. It's, it's a pup.
It's a pup. Right. When did the railway leave?
Oh, good question. Now you got me there.
Probably in the 60s, maybe?
No, maybe about 20 years ago or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Right.
To tell you the truth.
Is the museum the old railway station?
No, the museum has a real unique history. Uh-huh. It actually was part of the Commonwealth Training Plan establishment in Yorkton. And it was built in about 1940. And pilots from all over the world, all over the Commonwealth, came to Yorkton to learn to fly. And then when they got their pilots, qualifications, over they went to England to fight against the Nazis.
Right.
And needless to say, many of them came through, and they were from South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, the whole British Commonwealth.
Wow.
Came through Yorkton and various other training bases, to tell you the truth.
Right.
And then over they went.
How did the town of Preeceville get its name?
From the Preece family.
from the
Fred and Louise Preece.
Okay.
Right. They donated the land for the town site, and they named the town after them.
Okay.
In fact, in its inception, it was called Preece, but the railway basically said it's not long enough, so they tacked the Ville on it.
All right. Oh, okay.
Little things like that.
Right.
By the way, the museum actually came across country from Yorkton by truck.
You mean the building itself?
The building itself
Wow.
came on the highway, and the great big movers that they had brought it all the way to Preeceville. The foundation was poured prior to its coming here, and of course the building. They knew the measurements. They made the foundation. They brought the building, on it went, and that was it.
So the building was originally in Yorkton?
In Yorkton, oh yes.
And what was it in Yorkton?
In Yorkton, as I said, it was the pilots' barracks.
Right.
That's where they slept, of course.
Yeah.
And we have another one. We've got the Legion Hall, which came across. It was a mess hall. And it's a very, very big building, much bigger than this one, to tell you the truth. Right. And it came across country likewise.
They like to move buildings.
They moved things, just like the Egyptians. Hey.
I know. Even coming down here, I passed a house being moved.
Right.
Yeah, a mobile house.
Yeah,
What did you do for a living in the area?
I taught.
Did you?
I taught school for 32 years.
Did you teach history?
I taught history.
That's not a coincidence.
Isn't that a coincidence? And I love history. I'm an amateur historian.
Right. Is there a school? Is there one school in Preeceville?
There's one school, K to 12.
Yeah. Okay.
K to 12.
And was that the school you taught in?
Right.
So you're probably well known in this area. You probably have taught
half the town, you might say.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. So you're very.
But there's quite a turnover in people, of course. So.
Yes. Oh, you have to collect some money. So, okay.
Excuse me.
No, absolutely.
Okay. There we go. Tickets and sign.
Hi. Your costume caught my eye immediately.
Did it?
It did. You look fabulous. May I ask who you are?
I'm Eugenia Kennedy.
Eugenia?
Yeah, but I'm just here to enjoy their...
So what? Oh, because you had the option of dressing up.
Yeah, if you wore a hat.
Well, I had one, but I took it off. I thought it was being polite.
Well, no, and then you got your name put in the door prize. So I said to her, I'll just dress up too, and she says, do that.
Well, my mother always told me I should take my hat off at the table, so I did.
Oh, not tonight.
Oh. So tell me about your costume. Where did you find this? It's fabulous.
Well, it's like I've been telling everybody.
Yes?
When I was young and had lots of money, I wanted to ride a camel, so I went to Egypt.
Uh-huh.
But it's a fib.
I would not have known that. I somehow, as lovely as it is, I'm thinking that your
I was at a garage sale about 2 years ago, and this thing was hanging there. And I said to the lady, "Are you selling that?" And she says, "Yeah." And they had been to Egypt.
Oh, they had been?
Yeah, and she bought this. And I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I says, "Well, I want it." So now today I got a chance to wear it.
I was going to say, you don't have many opportunities to wear something like that.
Well, I thought some people might think it's Halloween, when I come looking like this.
Well, now you know what you've got to wear for Halloween.
Yeah.
But once you wear an outfit, it's very gauche to be seen in it again a second time.
Yeah, but anyway.
Something this noticeable,
Yeah, well, you're not going to forget that.
No.
That's right. Do you live in Preeceville?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long have you lived here?
20 years.
Have you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you grow up in the area?
We moved from Litlaw down towards Kelvington, Wendell Clark country.
Okay,
yeah.
right. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've always stayed in the area.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this is your husband
Yeah,
here.
that's my husband. That's my friend down at the end.
You strike me as someone who might have been a farmer. Is that so?
He still is.
You still are a farmer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only 82.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You look a lot younger than that.
Hey.
He's a young woman.
Don't tell him.
As long as you keep dressing up like this, you'll never grow old.
Oh, yeah. If I get an outfit like this.
Do they do these sorts of things often here? in Preeceville? Get-togethers with meals?
Well, this is the first time I think they've tried a dessert like this, but they're always putting on things, you know, because
the museum club or whoever they are, they're always doing something. They love getting dressed up.
Well, they like
Especially the first guy you talk to, he likes to dress up. Maybe even next Sunday you would dress up.
But you know what? You have to get funds to come in to operate.
Oh, sure.
And I give them credit. There are a lot of seniors, you know, and they're trying to get this museum to go.
Yeah,
And,
well, that's where Sask Culture comes in to help.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
They built an authentic Ukrainian clay oven a couple of years ago.
Oh, did they?
yeah, over
And
by the town office.
they fire it up once in a while and
Yeah,
make
they
bread.
do. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
and
they're
sell
active,
it.
real
Yeah.
active.
Yeah.
Did you make anything on that table?
Yeah, but I'm not telling you what.
Oh, come on. I want to know what your specialty is.
I'm a Canadian. I made the apple pandowdy, and it says a Canadian.
Oh, okay. Well, it could have been that or Nanaimo bars, I was going to say.
No, I didn't make Nanaimo bars. And when I looked up a recipe for this costume, it had ingredients that I wouldn't know
Oh, you
where
wanted
to
to
start.
come up with an Egyptian dessert? Boy, you'd have won the Hero of the Year for that.
well.
You'd have had a hard time shopping for ingredients, I'd guess.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It started off real good,
Yeah.
rice pudding, and then when the last three ingredients come, I had no idea what
Right.
they were, and
Right.
neither did my sister, and so I said,
They'd
forget it.
have to have dates, though, wouldn't they? The palm
Sure,
trees
yeah,
must have
absolutely, yep.
dates.
Oh, yeah.
But not the dried ones that you buy in the store in the bag. They would have the medjool dates, which are the ones
Yeah.
with the pit in it. Yeah, which are fantastic. Well, thank you for. I see you're diving into what I understand is a Greek cheesecake.
Yeah, and I think they were all made by Darlene Medlang, the one with the red.
With the red hat over there?
With a, she has, she's got
not
the flower in her hair, red silky flower.
okay.
Little Kate hat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I will. I'll see if I can track her down.
She's in the kitchen. I think I just seen her in there. Yeah.
She's going to be modest, but I'll.
I think
I'll find
she
her.
made all these fancy cheesecakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to me and not telling me to go away.
No. Okay.
People do that.
Did you eat?
Pardon?
Have you eaten?
Not yet.
What's wrong?
I'll get there.
Well, get
I'm
moving.
kind of-
There wasn't going to be a thing left.
I'm working.
We took way too big a portion.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll just walk around and lick the plates.
Yeah.
Is there a Darlene in here?
Yeah.
Darlene,
Yes.
I'm told that I should come over and capture you for a moment to talk. I know you're busy. I understand that you've made half the things on this table, somebody told me.
Well, not half. No,
A lot.
I did the fruit soupas, the two kinds of soup, and I
Yes.
did the cheesecakes.
Now, did I overhear you say it's a Greek cheesecake?
Well, my sister went online to see where they originated from, and she
Okay.
said they're from Greece. So, and she said, well, we should have that country represented. So you make cheesecakes. So
Yeah.
this is what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have Greek in your background?
Not at all Scandinavian. completely.
Scandinavian?
Yeah.
Oh, so are there any Scandinavian dishes here?
Oh, yes, yes.
Show me. Let's go over to this massive dessert table. This is more sugar than a person has a right to look at in one shot.
These ones are sanbakal.
What are they called?
Sanbakals.
Okay.
And over there is fattening. That's a poor man's donut.
A
Translated.
poor man's donut.
Translated, yes.
Like donuts are particularly expensive, generally.
I don't know why, but that was a translation.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the two soups are their fruit sopas. That's Scandinavian.
Oh, yes, I noticed this one. Is it like a compote?
It is very much
Okay.
so. And the other one is the one that we always have at Christmas Eve at our house. It's Saskatoon strawberry raspberry.
I was going to say, but you'd not find a Saskatoon berry anywhere back home.
No, but we have it here, and that's Norwegian. And the other one is more Swedish tradition.
Did you grow up there, or is that just your heritage?
That's my heritage.
Okay, have you been?
Oh yeah, I've been to Sweden, and a couple times I've been to Denmark.
Uh-huh.
These are Danish. These cookies back here are the wedding cookies. These little ones back here.
Oh, yes?
So balls, those are our Danish wedding cookies. and next to them is homemade Danish pastry.
Well, I was going to say, that's how the Danish pastry has its name Danish, yes?
Yeah, and so that's all, tied in with our heritage.
How long have you all been preparing this?
Oh, a couple days.
Really?
Yeah.
You say that so casually, but it all looks so impressive when it's together.
Well, yeah, but we had there's been many people, all the museum members have made, like Leona Carlson made the Preezzels, and she made the Wiener Torte, and she made the Platza, the German cookies. Those are all Leona.
Boy, it's a regular United Nations of desserts here, isn't it?
It is indeed. And then the trifles are more the English style.
Yes.
And Joan made one of them, and Sharon made one of them.
So are the dishes that the people have made somehow connected to their background?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Joan is English.
Have you done this before?
No, actually. Well, I shouldn't say that. We did a Scandinavian supper, but that was all Scandinavian. And we did, we had the traditional food that would be served there. And that was a big hit. That was a couple years ago. And we cooked all that stuff.
You guys must have raided the co-op.
Well,
you must have cleaned them out. You must have cleaned them out of all the cream and sugar, for sure.
Yeah, the cream would took
cream,
a real
sugar, and
hit.
flour. Yeah.
So,
it's wonderful.
And all of this was made by Marge Paxson. And that's the Russian background and her heritage.
Oh, fast. I'm going to come over to the other side of the table and talk with you, because you brought me my tea, so I have to.
There you go.
Darlene, thank you. What a pleasure this is to behold. Okay, remind me your name again.
Mine is Marge Plaxon.
Marge. Now, you've made some of the Russian dishes here.
This is the Russian tart, yes.
Okay. And are these Saskatoons in the
These are Saskatoons. These are cranberries. And there's raspberries and strawberries. And apple, as the season would allow, that's what we used to have.
Right.
And you could have yogurt, sour cream, or whipped cream to make it very tasty.
And that's your background?
It is. Right. Very far back, and it's hard.
Far back?
Yes.
Have you been to Russia at all?
I haven't, but my mother and daughter have. Okay. So some of the artifacts there are from Russia.
Oh, right. From over there?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't made it over to the table yet. Mm-hmm. But you live in Preeceville.
We do.
How long have you lived here?
52 years.
52 years, wow.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place to raise a family.
And you probably know Lorne, the teacher, who probably has taught just about everybody in this, sort of. You're saying, yes. So is this the kind of town where everybody knows everybody?
Everybody, and they should. And if they don't say hello to the next person, there's something very wrong. Everybody wants to know everybody.
How come? Where are all the young folks?
They've probably been working all day and to have kids to look after for the evening.
Right. Do you find that the younger demographic in Preeceville go attend the museum and things like that? I mean, do they take...
We've been very fortunate that the kids... Leona, that's yogurt.
What's this?
Now you'll have to put yogurt and whipped cream.
What is this?
And that's sour cream. And so I'll give you this pure real cream. So try to wiggle it around.
Oh, that'll be fine. Oh, that's good.
It's only fattening when you swallow it.
That's going to be the title of this podcast.
Is that really?
It's only fattening if you swallow it.
That's right.
And isn't there another rule where if it's broken, there's no calories in it?
That's true.
Right.
That's what we do at home. Make sure.
Right. You just go smash up all the cookies and then dive in.
That's right. Well, you don't have to. Somebody else will do it for you if they want it bad enough.
Right. Well, what a delight, everything you've made here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the tea again.
Come here, I'll show you some heritage.
Yes, okay.
There you go.
I'm back with Lorne here. Very early homes in Canada. 1899 to 1900.
And there's the door. There's the lady and her little boy. And this is the village of actual village of Novotroyskaya that was built in 1899, and there they stayed for 2 years. Then, of course, they built these log homes, and look who built them.
Built mostly by the women and children. That's interesting. The men were out working.
And
look at all the women sitting in the roof.
Right. And there is a picture of a typical Russian Doukhobour village. This was south of Buchanan. This is called Christianovka. Of Christ is basically or it was first called Maseyevka, which basically means Mosesville.
Okay.
And you can see the lineage of the homes all lined up.
Yeah.
And there was about 80 people living in that one little village.
Wow. Now, I am in Doukhobour country now.
You are?
Yes.
Fascinating history. You might say. That by and large, they've moved away.
Yes.
But in the beginning, it was definitely a lot of them living in this area.
I hear you're Mr. Power from Saskatoon. You're with SaskCulture.
I am.
Well, nice to have you here.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, so you get the fun part. You get to go around to all the communities and all the events to eat. Have you had a chance to sample?
No, I rarely get a chance to eat because I'm so busy talking to people. But I can't pass up. So.
Oh, no doubt.
If it all disappears, I'll just walk around and lick the plate.
Stick around to the end. I'm pretty sure the ladies will load you up.
Yeah, right. What's the paper that you're with?
The local Preeceville Progress. I believe they have quite a few of the articles that I've done in them in the past on the tables over there.
Oh, good. So you're covering the event.
As always.
I'm running back over here to Lorne. Lauren, what I was going to ask you was a conversation I was having with somebody the other day.
Yep.
Are there practicing Doukhobours?
In the area, a few, not many. Like to put it very simply, my mother was a practicing Doukhobour, right?
Yeah.
And basically, we're Russian.
Yeah.
And in essence, we are from the southern Ukraine, which was part of Russia.
Right.
Back in 1802 to 45 is when they lived there. Then the Tsar, Russia, said, "You shall join the Russian Orthodox Church or be exiled."
Yes.
And some people stayed there, and some people chose to be exiled to the Caucasus. To put it very simply, I have relatives on both sides. I've still got relatives probably in the Ukraine. I know I have relatives in Russia.
Right. And Leo Tolstoy was very instrumental.
Yes, he was, as was Queen Victoria.
Okay.
See, Leo Tolstoy corresponded, I'm sure, with Queen Victoria. And I think she had and of course they were looking for farmers at that time who could basically get on a piece of land and make something out of it from nothing.
Right.
My grandfather, for example, came across with 60 cents in his pocket. Some other people, of course, were more wealthy, and they came across with gold. But I mean, that's life. Some people, there were the rich, and there were the ordinary peasants in those days too.
Right. So they were original farmers.
They originally all were farmers. Right. My grandfather, Constant, worked for Robert Buchanan, after whom the town is named, and he worked for him for $100 a year.
Wow.
A year. 33 cents a day. But hey, that was good money in those days.
Yeah.
The men basically, as you saw there, the women are building the houses.
Yes.
The men walked from this area to places like Yorkton. That was a very simple walk.
Yeah.
Some of them, my great grandfather walked to Moose Jaw to work on the railway.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, right across country, and away they went. They heard there was work there, and away they went.
We have to have some good shoes to do that trek.
Well, some of them had shoes, some of them didn't.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, you hear kids today complain that they have, don't know.
It's just like that old saying, you complain about your shoes until you see a man who has no feet.
Exactly,
And we have a gentleman like that right here. See with the red flag?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I was going to say, what was I going? Oh, the Doukhobours moved into the British Columbia area.
Yes, from that's another story. Oh gosh, how long have you got?
What's that story?
Well, they were okay here, and the one thing that they were guaranteed when they came in was that they would not have to pledge allegiance, okay? And they were let into the country on that basis, and they were also let into the country with a couple of other provinces. But governments changed.
Yes.
And a gentleman called Oliver chose not to go by the old rules, you might say. And I think their benefactor was a gentleman called Simpson, but a gentleman called Oliver said no. You must break up your communities and go your separate ways. Excuse me. Okay, and some chose to go to BC, and some the independents chose to stay here. My grandfather simply took out a homestead, and that's all there was to it.
They seem to have had a lot of people in their history wanting to break them up somehow, or put them in compromising. They weren't particularly a threat. They were quite peacekeeping.
They were, by and large, they were peaceful.
Yeah.
By and large, they were peaceful. Let's face it, you have your crazies in every group.
Yeah.
And I mean, the ones that are always
the big naked protesters.
Right on. Between that and the Sons of Freedom.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And as I said, in every religious sect, you have your real conservative group, and you have your liberal group. That's about the size of it. And I don't care which group it was, whether it was the Puritans that were exiled to New England, or the Catholics that were exiled to America to form Maryland under the reign of Elizabeth I. And then of course the colonies were a wonderful place to send convicts. And there were 19 crimes. And lepers, yes. That were, you could be exiled in England, you could be hung. Or you could choose transportation to the colonies. Right. Guess what?
Yeah, right.
And that's how the colonies got started. Yeah. Some of them for very menial crimes. Like, in the United States, the states, rebelled, broke away. So they didn't have any place to send their prisoners to the U.S. So they wound up sending them to Australia, to start Australia. And in fact, just recently there was a wonderful program on the history of Australia on the CBC.
Yes, because Tasmania originally was, Dutch. Yes, but they...
Abel Tasman.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, exile continues today, doesn't it? In some fashion.
Yeah, I guess so.
There'll always be people fleeing their country.
I know. It's a hard call.
Yeah.
It's a hard call.
It's the story of humanity.
That's right. Yeah. There have been migrations since time immemorial.
Yeah. Oh, well, we won't migrate from this event.
No, we won't, Kevin.
We will not migrate. Lorne, thank you. What a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin.
And the real reason why I'm hanging around your table is because you have all the money.
Not quite. But
are you getting desserts in the middle of all this?
You better go through this.
Oh, well, I'll get through it.
There's only a whole table left, Kevin. You better get through that.
But I just said... Yeah, I just said I'll lick all the plates if everything's gone.
Oh, come on.
I got to make sure I do my job first.
Okay.
Then
well,
food
that's
later.
Good. I'm glad you're conscientious.
Absolutely.
If your superior ever asks, I will tell them.
Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying this episode. Just a reminder that there are several ways that you can listen to all of the SaskScapes episodes. The easiest way is with the SaskScapes app that you can download for free from the App Store or Google Play, depending on your device. You'll even get notifications when a new episode is available. Other ways to hear the podcasts are downloading them from the iTunes Store, Stitcher Radio, or through the TuneIn Radio app. Again, all for free. You can stream the SaskScapes podcasts individually at www.iheartculture.ca. Thanks to all of you who have been writing your comments and reviews. It's always great to hear from you. And now, back to the podcast.
You're very popular.
I know. Well, when you're standing behind this table,
I know.
You couldn't help it.
And your name?
I'm Joan.
Joan, are you on the museum?
Yes, I'm the treasurer.
Okay, You're the treasurer.
Yes.
Oh. You better meet up with Lorne. He's got all the money.
I know.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to have a talk.
So I understand that you have a British background.
Yes.
As do
my family is. My grandparents all came over from England.
Okay.
So yes, my family is English.
You've been.
I have not been to
You've
visit.
not been to visit?
No, but I keep in touch with family there
must
still.
Go sometime. It's
yes,
fabulous.
It is.
So you've done the trifle.
I did the trifle, yes.
The prerequisite British trifle.
Yes.
And you've done 2 of them.
No, this one actually one of the other girls did.
Okay.
Sharon did that, but I did the strawberry one.
Yes, this is the one that I would call traditional.
Yes, I think, it is.
Yes. Now, these we've already covered.
Yes, that's Darlene's, the fruit soups.
Right. And
so, yes.
anything else that you have
no,
you done the bread?
No, the girls made the bread pudding.
So how did you all decide to do this? I mean, I know that you've done dinners before.
Yes.
But how did you decide on an ethnic dessert event?
Well,
Would you please do the board a favor? We don't want to eat everything that's left over, so would you please all go through for seconds?
How did you decide on an ethnic dessert night? It's such an original idea.
Yes, we had done a supper and we thought, well, something different.
Yes.
And, we are so lucky in this area because there are many cultures, different groups, and we thought this would be a nice way. Just the desserts are maybe sometimes different.
Sure.
Like everyone thinks of the different foods, but maybe not as much about desserts.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, maybe a dessert night. And who doesn't love an extra dessert?
Nope. Well, there's more than extras here. You can go back for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah.
So, but is the whole get-together around food something that the museum does on a fairly regular basis?
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, because everyone loves to eat.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think, like traditionally, getting together for a meal is a sharing time.
Absolutely.
And, we just think that's a good way. People love to come and come out and socialize.
Yeah.
And as you can see, they're sitting and visiting and having an extra coffee.
And this is the kind of town where everybody knows everybody, right?
Yes, it's true.
How long have you lived here?
All my life.
All your life? You
Yes.
were born in Preeceville?
Yes.
Does that mean Lorne was your teacher?
Yes, he was. First in grade 7. Yes.
Were you a good student?
Oh, yes.
If I go ask Lorne that, will he?
Well, you could. Yeah, you could ask.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed school.
Has Preeceville changed a lot over the years?
It has. I get it.
Population reduced?
I would probably reduced from what it was, say, when I was younger. Younger people maybe have moved away, some of them to the cities and stuff. But as you can see, it's still a very vibrant community.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Did you grow up work on a farm?
Yes. Yeah, we live on a farm, and I worked in town up until last year, actually. So.
All right.
Yeah, but
so you got to get all your ingredients fresh on the farm.
Yes, that's a very nice part about it.
That's fantastic. Well, this is just overwhelming. I think you guys are going to win my Culture Days award this weekend. For
and it's fun because when people are sitting around and visiting and they're having fun, then it makes it fun for us too. It really does. Photo for the press. Photo for the press. Oh, dear.
Oh, good. Well, since you're going to do that, I'm going to hone in on that photo opportunity as well.
Yes, and you need to get a plate, too, and enjoy some of these.
I will get there. I just have to do a little bit of work first, otherwise they won't believe I was here.
That's true, yes. But be sure to have
Thank you. Hello. May I ask your name first of all?
Grace Preddy.
Grace, now you're on the museum, the hospital.
Hospital Auxiliary.
Right, okay. So you've worked together?
I'm a lifetime member.
Of it, right? Mm-hmm. Did you also work at the hospital?
Yes.
As a nurse?
Yep.
Did you grow up in Preeceville?
Pardon?
Did you grow up in Preeceville?
No, in Manitoba.
Oh, in Manitoba?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But how long have you been here?
1954 I came.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So has the hospital gotten bigger since you started?
Oh, well, we had another hospial where the town office is. And that was a 29 bed. That's where I started. And then the new one was built, and I worked in both, like that one, and then I moved over to the other one.
What was your favorite food out of everything?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know the names of them.
You polished off a few of them there.
Well, Peter's is there, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the apple was very good, and I can't remember that other one.
What's your background?
What do you
Culturally.
mean? Culture?
Yeah, as far as heritage.
German.
Yeah, German background.
Female.
I hear you.
Best dress for the male and the female.
Hey, it's Kevin. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Just a quick reminder that the SaskScapes podcast is available for free on your favorite podcast app, or you can stream it from your browser. Check out the show notes for the link. On the SaskScapes homepage, you'll notice something new under the logo called SaskScapes Plus. You can't miss it. There's a big button saying support with a heart icon next to it. I'd love it if you could click on that button and help keep this podcast series going. When SaskScapes launched in May 2014, it was the first podcast in the province celebrating arts, culture, and heritage. In fact, you'd have been pretty hard-pressed to find any Saskatchewan podcasts. So I'd like to think that we paved the way. It's been because of your support that this podcast is now in its 9th year. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
And we're going to, the male is Mr. Wojcik.
A nice top hat.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
So I got to draw for the ladies. And the winner is Gloria Daschuk.
Yes.
So your background is German.
Yeah.
So there were some German dishes there.
Well, Polish and German.
There were some German dishes on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Did they pass your test?
I didn't even see them, I don't think.
Are you a big baker?
No.
Yourself? No?
No.
It seems like a really closely knit community, Preeceville.
Yeah.
You all know each other?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have children that grew up here?
Mm-hmm. 4.
And was Lorne their teacher as well?
Yes, he was.
I haven't talked to anybody that Lorne hasn't touched somehow.
Our kids said he was a good teacher.
Yeah? Were they good kids? Good students?
Well, yes, they did well in school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did any of them follow in your footsteps as far as the medical profession?
Two are nurses. One is a teacher, and our son hasn't decided yet. I mean, he has jobs, Did a lot of traveling.
Well, traveling is a great education.
Oh, yes.
Nursing's changed a lot since you started.
Yes.
For the better, do you think?
Well, I don't like the uniforms they're wearing now.
Oh.
I like the white.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, now they're wearing the scrubs?
Well, they're kind of more casual. They're like scrubs,
Yeah, right. But you liked the VON type outfits.
The registered nurse.
Right.
Type, the white ones.
Right. Yeah. Do you still have yours?
Oh, yes.
You should have worn it tonight.
Oh, I never thought of that.
That would have been quite the hat to wear.
It would have been. I never even thought of that.
Well, at least now you know what to wear.
Dress up, you see.
Yeah. Well, now you know what to wear for Halloween.
Yeah.
You can go door to door trick or treating as a nurse.
Yeah. We usually have lots of children coming to our place.
Yeah, is Halloween a big deal in this town?
Yeah, quite big, yes.
Really? Oh, that's good to hear.
And then the church has, on the Friday night before Halloween, they have a big do in the church at Sturgis, like a United Church. Our ministers in both churches.
Right. Because it's such a dying art in some of the large cities.
They have many children.
Wow.
Good evening.
That's fantastic. So is this sort of the community hub as far as people getting together?
Well, for the older folks, I guess, but the Legion Hall is where most of, because it's bigger. And big stage and everything, and a big kitchen.
Are the younger people that live in Preeceville, do they appreciate the senior folks that live here as far as your knowledge of the history of the place? And well, because sometimes we're always so concerned that seniors spend so much time volunteering for boards and museums and things that you keep them going in many ways, and then who do we hand these things down to afterwards?
Well, that's it. The younger folks aren't that interested always.
Right.
No, and it's hard to get members, even for the hospital auxiliary. We're looking for members all the time because everybody's getting older like me, and we wanted to get...
I think all you need to do is wave one of these desserts under their nose and they'll follow you and join anything.
They just want to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what a delight it is to talk to you. Thank you. Thanks for having me to your town.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry that I'm feeling very well, so I don't have to go to your hospital.
Yes, well, I'm not there anymore.
Right. Otherwise, I give them a mindful about their outfits.
Good.
Great. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you.
I think you should have seconds.
No, I've got all I can take. It's very good.
Okay, now I am with the two people who are responsible for getting me here. I am with Andrea and Elaine. Settle down, Andrea. She's having too much. You're on a sugar high. That's the problem.
I might be, yep.
Yeah, right. So, tell me your official title with Preeceville.
I am the recreation director for the town of Preeceville.
Okay, and Elaine?
The community development officer.
Oh, you are? Okay. And your offices are very close to each other because I hear you yelling back and forth.
We are in one room with a little bit of a partition.
Right, okay.
She knows all my dirty secrets.
So how does this rack up as far as really spectacular events?
Like what we had today,
yeah.
you mean? I think it was very good.
Very impressive.
Yes, very good.
Are these the kinds of things that are happening regularly in the community?
This is the first time for this. They've done a meal, ethnic meal.
Right.
Otherwise, we just have barbecues, hamburger barbecues.
Right.
Well, there's lots of ethnic.
But this, yeah.
I guess there's lots of potlucks and fall suppers and those type of things. But
oh yes, the famous Saskatchewan fall
suppers. Absolutely, those are really common out here. This dessert, dessert night. This would be one of the first times they've ever done that. But we've had different. We've had Oktoberfests in the past. We're kind of focused on different nationalities, and that's been a fundraiser for. I think one year was for the skating rink and different things like that.
Yeah.
But specific to the dessert kind of deal, this is.
Yeah, it's a really unique concept.
Absolutely, yeah, and very, as you can tell, it's amazing. Yeah.
And you brought together. Well, this really has been put on by the museum.
Absolutely.
Right,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and
give them credit for all of it.
What was the hospital connection to? You just invited them as guests?
Yes, that was, and we were trying to come up with a group that we knew had been around in the community for a number of years, and maybe a group that sometimes gets unnoticed.
Right.
Like they're really not on the forefront. They're always kind of just doing their thing in the back. And we thought we were trying to come up with some ideas of some people that maybe necessarily wouldn't get acknowledged, in some fashion.
Sure. Yeah. How, Elaine? How's Preeceville doing? How's it growing? Do you see numbers increasing? Do you see?
I think the school has picked up. I think they're going to have 20 kids this year.
Okay.
Struggles, I think, a lot like a lot of small towns economically or business-wise, right? But I would say we're standing our ground. That's about what we're doing. We're staying pretty stable.
How long have you lived here?
I was born and raised here.
You were. It's quite a phenomenon. I'm not originally from Saskatchewan, but the number of people that I meet who have been, born and raised and lived all their life in one town.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's going to be a broken record. Lorne was probably your teacher.
Yes, he did. He taught me grade 8. Yes.
Grade 8 history.
Grade 8 math.
Math,
and
everything.
Probably most classes. Yes.
Okay. And Andrea, did you grow up here?
I grew up in the area. I'm originally not from Preeceville. We used to fight with Preeceville. I grew up in Sturgis.
Oh, is there a great battle?
There is a rivalry.
Well, there is that historical battle between the town
Absolutely,
and Sturgis.
there is.
Yes. I think there's a historical site somewhere in between the two.
Absolutely, there is. So, yes, it's calmed down quite a bit. But I grew up in the area, and I think we've been here. We moved back about 13 years ago.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get Lorne as a teacher?
No, I did not. I probably played against him in some of the sports, but I think we won.
Yeah, these towns really are. I mean, they pride themselves. The sports, the arena is the hub, right?
Absolutely.
Is there any kind of concern that as this older generation passes, that the younger generation isn't going to pick up the torch of the cultural aspects of the community? I mean, we know they'll always be there curling.
Yeah.
But what about things like everything, all these artifacts and things? Who carries the history on?
I think it's a problem already.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so. From what we can see from our perspective, this particular group is quite unique, but there isn't a lot of younger people that will pick up the torch. Not that I can see, anyways.
Right.
In this, Like, I'm very involved in all the recreation stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of not partaking. I always support, but I'm guilty of not, helping out. And it's definitely a problem.
I mean, the amount of sugar here alone should bring in every kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it should.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
different.
Preeceville is unique to that problem.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, that's one of the things that I'm hoping to accomplish with the podcast series. This is very much a younger demographic tool. I mean, this is how kids are getting their information now. Podcasts are they just want sound bites. They want them quickly. They want them when they want them on their devices. So this is one way of at least hoping that somebody out there is listening. But as I travel the province, museums always have those fabulous the summer intern programs. I don't know where they have a summer student for the.
Yeah, they did this summer.
Yeah. So there's those programs that really, and I'm always meeting kids that are really keen on their museums. They really like the
You'll
stuff.
You'll get a few, but
I think they take some classes. Some of the students, some of the teachers will take students to the museum. But
it's definitely not as strong as it probably could or should be.
Right.
For sure.
And Sask Culture was pretty important to making this happen for you guys, your Culture Days weekend?
Sask Culture was responsible in letting us have you. And
yes. Well, I think are there more events planned for tomorrow?
Nothing here, no.
Well, I mean, if you have to do one, this was pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it was very good,
It was
yes.
very well done.
Wow.
And even attendance, I think, would have been, but we're in an agriculture community, so a lot of people are missing that we normally would be here.
But this is pretty impressive.
This is very good, absolutely.
Very good.
This is,
well done.
It was very, like I said, kudos to the museum.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They did a great
Excellent.
job.
And kudos for you guys for bringing me here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
No, you did fantastic.
Yeah, we were very impressed. We wanted to get you here.
I wanted to get here. This was a good reason to get here. Dessert and sugar.
That's exactly. It doesn't get any better than that.
Thanks, both of you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for listening. The SaskScapes podcast is created and hosted by Kevin Power for Sask Culture. Funding to the cultural sector is provided through the Saskatchewan Lotteries Trust Fund for Sport, Culture and Recreation. For more information, visit iheartculture.ca and saskculture.ca. Music for SaskScapes is provided by Saskatchewan-born singer-songwriter Jeffrey Straker. There's no end to the stories to be told. So, until next time...